So this afternoon, we're going to be listening to a conversation with Jessica Tania Bishop. So first thing, Jess, is please introduce yourself to the Together audience.
Okay, so as you know, my name's Jess. I have graduated from Worcester Uni with a degree in drama and performance, and I work a lot in the creative industry, running a youth theatre. I'm involved in community theatre as well, but I don't just do performance. I do backstage stuff. I do lighting and tech, and I've just got the generic office job as a normal person, but that's it really.
Fabulous. So you say you went to Worcester Uni. Can you tell us a little bit more about kind of why you chose maybe Worcester, why you chose the course that you did, and how that kind of reflects into what you do now?
Well, I chose Worcester because it's really close to home. So when I had like hospital appointments or doctor's appointments, it was easy just to travel back. But I chose the course because I was quite a shy person. I struggled. I didn't really like talking to people much. But when you're on stage, you haven't got to be yourself. So you haven't got to be worried, and it brings you out of your shell. So you learn like life skills of communicating more and not being worried talking to people. So yeah, and so that relates because obviously I looked at different courses, so theatre and education, theatre for young audiences. So that's really helped going into doing a youth theatre and understanding how you need to talk to them differently than you would with adults.
Okay, so I mean, interesting point there. You said that you're actually quite a shy person, and yet you are doing a drama course and a performance-based kind of work. Yeah. You know, hobby work, however it rolls out, really.
Yeah.
And sort of said, you know, so you don't have to be yourself when you're on stage.
Yeah.
As a disabled woman, how much do you think that is a part of all of your life?
Well, I think it is really, because you always put on a front. Oh, well, I do. I don't really tell people about my back. So obviously I had scoliosis, and I had the surgery for it, but I've still got a slight curvature. But if I don't have to tell people about it, then I won't. So again, it's almost like putting on that front, and you know, if you're in pain or something, you hide it, and it doesn't matter if you know the person or if you don't know the person. So again, being on stage, you hide who you are and become a completely different person.
And then sort of following on from that, what was your living experience, I guess, really, of university? I mean, did you stay at home? Did you live in halls at all?
No, I stayed at home. It wasn't too far to commute. It was only about 20 minutes, which in a way I kind of do regret, because I think if you live in halls, you make that bond with people easier. And if you haven't got that, obviously it's a bit more harder and challenging.
And do you feel that your impairment had any sort of an impact on how well you were able to access the course, or the response of the university to you as an individual?
To be honest, I think the response was really good. We had to do a piece of physical theatre, which obviously I really struggled with, not having the flexibility. But they understood it. They didn't have to question me too much or anything. They just accepted what I could and couldn't do themselves. And obviously, you know, if people don't know your impairment, then they don't quite understand how to take you in that respect. But I think sometimes they may forget. So when we used to have to go on trips to, say, London, and you're doing all that walking, and all that traveling, it does kind of take its toll on the body.
Oh, absolutely. So you've graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been able to move into kind of drama and or theatre work professionally?
I haven't done it professionally at the moment, unfortunately. It's just been more community. So I do. I think the most recent one I did was a Shakespeare play at the Rose Theatre in Kidderminster. I do a pantomime every year that raises money for charity that we give away. So I think we gave nearly 90,000 away the last one we did. And then so just little bits and pieces like that.
Jess, since graduating, COVID has happened. Do you think that that has had an impact on your capacity to take up professional arts, or is that actually not your aspiration?
I would absolutely love to do professional arts. I really would, because I enjoy it so much, and to do it more than just a hobby would be great. But I think with COVID and with the fact that I work in an office, I know that job's kind of secure at the moment. And I think obviously if you leave that and you try and go into the theatre or the creative industries, it could be a lot harder because of the amount of people that are struggling at the moment already.
So when you have looked at professional appointments, you know, temporary ones, not necessarily, you know, full-time job, would you be able to tell viewers kind of any experiences you've had and how you've overcome any negative projections towards you as a disabled woman?
I think I'm quite a stubborn person. So if someone tells me I can't do it, I'm going to do it anyway. And I think that's the best kind of mindset to be in. If someone tells you, oh, do you really think you're right for this? Or can you explain to me how your body's going to handle that? I mean, obviously you tell them the truth. You know, if there are certain limitations that you can't do, then that's fine. But if someone's just saying, oh, we don't really think you're going to be able to handle the long hours or the long days, then, you know, you prove them wrong, really. But once you've overcome that kind of step, I think that's when you kind of get a little bit more respect from the people.
If you therefore, if you had a message to other disabled people, or even anyone else looking to move into kind of drama, studying it and then moving into professionally, what kind of message would you like to say to them?
Just that don't give up, and if you do get knockbacks, as horrible as they are, you will meet the right people to support you. And yeah, just give it all you can, and if you struggle, that's okay, because you then creative industries are like a family, because you have to work so closely together. You get to know each other inside out, kind of thing. So if you have a bad day, you've got that support around you.
So Jess, thank you so much for joining us today. And to close, and I'd like to leave you to introduce a monologue that you're going to read for us.
Thank you. So this is a monologue from the play A Woman Who Cooked Her Husband, and it's by the character Laura. I don't like being a woman. I don't like it. I don't like being banished to the kitchen at parties, talking about stupid things with stupid females. I want to be where you are, the men all laughing and joking and drinking and smoking. I want to join in. I can't do the things you ask of me. And I'm not like your other wife. I'm not cut out for the household chores. And I cannot stand endless routines. The mindless activities. Who gives a fuck if the doorknobs are polished? Why make the bed? Just sleep in it again. I can't see the point. It just doesn't make sense. Right. You do it if you want to. Hire someone. Hire Hillary. Anything just to get off my back. I do my best for you, don't I? It's not like I'm lazy or I'm stupid or incompetent. I starve myself for you. I try and I get my fat bum down and I exercise. I know I'm no great chef, but I do it. And this is the thanks I get.